This time I would like to make a video about the remote viewing and the so-called Killshot event that will apparently happen in our future. First of all, what is remote viewing? It is the ability to see with your third eye remote places in the past, present and future without actually being physically there. The pineal gland contains photoreceptive cells like our eyes, and it is in the middle of our brain. I believe it is our sensory input to the other world, especially made to be able to see with our soul to the other world. I've had multiple spiritual episodes where I converse with etheric entities from the other world. Here's a short video from mymysticbanana.com on the pineal gland and the third eye. The pineal gland, also called the pineal body, epiphysis, cerebri, epiphysis, or the third eye, is a small endocrine gland in the vertebrate brain. It produces the serotonin derivative melatonin, a hormone that affects the modulation of wake-sleep patterns and seasonal functions. Its shape resembles a tiny peace cone, hence its name, and it is located near the center of the brain between the two hemispheres, tucked in a groove where the two rounded thalamic bodies join. The secret, what they don't want you to know. Every human being's pineal gland, or the third eye, can be activated to spiritual world frequencies and enables you to have the sense of all-knowing, godlike euphoria, and oneness all around you. A pineal gland, once tuned into the proper frequencies, with help of meditation, yoga, or various esoteric occult methods, enables a person to travel into other dimensions, popularly known as astral travel or astral projection, or remote viewing. So we can receive finer vibratory visual input into our third eye. We can actually use our third eye to see otherworldly entities like fairies, dracos, greys, spirits, deceased people, etc, etc, etc. There are so many entities that you can contact via this method, even using a Ouija board as a method, that we can tune into this other world. We can also use our third eye to see other places in the past, present and future. Again, everybody has these abilities since they were born. The problem is that we never learn to use these abilities, hence they hardly work or rarely. Sometimes we do get input from our angels or some type of premonitions. I, for example, have viewed through the eyes of an office worker that was looking outside, and I saw through the eyes of the office worker that there was an aircraft coming at a very high speed. A week later, it happened when I was in 2001, I believe, in the same year. But a week later, I believed, 9/11 happened. So I had this premonition. Many people have these premonitions. If we could use our third eye more clearly and with exercise, we should be able to see the other places with ease. The CIA had remote viewing programs in the 1960s, as well as the US military and Soviet Union. All major powers experimented with psionic abilities. Another example on possession and remote viewing was the experiments done in the Montauk Project with Al Bielek. Just Google that, where thought augmentation devices were used. As another example, there are several interviews from the Camelot Project with Duncan O'Finion, where psionic powers were used in the battlefields of Vietnam. So there are more than enough examples where the governments of the world tried weaponizing these psionic abilities. In the following video, we will see about an event that remote viewers of the US Army saw in the future. They saw an apparent end-type scenario where the entire world was covered with some strange cloud. Major Ed Dames viewed this event and marketed this as a DVD to reach as many people as possible. First now a short video on the so-called Killshot. Well, this is a website that focuses on the so-called Killshot event, that it will apparently approach us in our future. And now we'll check out Major Ed Dames. Who is Major Ed Dames? The world's foremost remote viewer, teacher and creator of the technical remote viewing, Major Edward A. Dames, United States Army retired, is a thrice-decorated military intelligence officer and an original member of the US Army prototype remote viewing training program. He served as both training and operations officers for the US government top-secret psychic espionage unit. Edward Dames is a ROTC Distinguished Military Graduate of the University of California, Berkeley. Between 1979 and 1983, Major Dames served as an electronic warfare officer and scientific and technical intelligence officer. In 1982, Ingo Swann, under the direction of Dr. Harold Puthoff, head of the remote viewing laboratory at Stanford Research Institute, realized a breakthrough. Swann developed a working model for how the unconscious mind communicates information to conscious awareness. To test the model, the Army sent Major Dames and 5 others to Swann as a prototype trainee group. The results exceeded all expectations, even those of Swann. In 6 months, Major Dames' teammates were producing psychically derived data with more consistency and accuracy than had ever been seen in the stimulus intelligence projects using even the best natural psychics. In late 1983, the team parted company with Swann. As the new operations and training officer for the unit, Dames took this breakthrough skill, dubbed coordinated remote viewing, and began a new phase of research, testing and evaluation in order to uncover its true capabilities, and to perfect its application to fit crucial intelligence collection needs. What is the Killshot? During the top secret remote viewing RV, CIA and a US Army research program, trained viewers that were normally tasked with foreseeing the outcome of a war, related events began picking up on future occurrences that appeared to mark a dramatic shift in a global life. At first, these viewers, along with Major Ed Dames, the program's senior operation and training officer, had feared their subconscious was foreseeing nuclear war. It turns out, after years of remote viewing sessions, the event is in fact a series of solar flares that are so devastating to the Earth, it may cause the death of billions and change life on Earth as we know it. Normally one might not take such a warning seriously, but what sets this prediction apart from others is that remote viewers have a track record of being amazingly accurate regarding globally recognized disasters and events. In fact, there are many predictions that were announced on national radio and TV programs that have already accurately come to pass with unprecedented accuracy, including the tragic disaster in Japan, a mysterious crop fungus, the predicted Indonesian 9.0 earthquake, and more. But knowing what's coming over the horizon is only the first step. Learning how to prepare and protect yourself and loved ones comes next. For that reason, people have been learning remote viewing to locate the personal sanctuary locations, foresee smaller near-term events, and become involved with optimal investments before that time runs out. According to various seers and prophecies, there will be some type of supernatural black cloud that will engulf the entire earth. This supernatural black cloud will slay those that are not good enough to stay on this earth. People have been warned over and over again that such an event will take place. I believe these 3 days of total darkness that has been prophesied, the so-called Killshot, the remote viewers have seen. The remote viewers cannot understand what type of event or cause would be responsible for such a mass purification, and would probably associate a major cataclysmic nuclear war with what they have seen in the future. Or solar flares, as they have stated in the website. I believe that we are in the end days. In the Bibles it is stated that the meek shall inherit the earth. Depending on which prophecy you read online, on tulatemple.org as an example, the global death toll will be 30 to 90% of the global population, depending on which seer you pick. For me, death is not the end. By inducing out of projection in 2007, I came to the insight that I have an immortal soul, and that death is not the end, and that it is just a transformation or a transition into the other world. So I do not fear death. You should know that you're more than your body, that you have a soul. If you don't believe me, get the book by William Bowman, Adventures Beyond the Body, or Adventures in the Afterlife, and induce astral projection yourself. You will see that I was right. Once you experience conscious separation of the material body, you will know that what I'm saying is the truth. Well, this was my video on remote viewing and on the 3 days of total darkness, the black cloud that will engulf the entire earth, and that the meek will be left to help rebuild this world after the global turning. By the way, the DVD of the Killshot can be ordered free of charge. You just have to pay for the postal service. Well, I ordered it. I want to know what they have to say, these remote viewers. The introduction video on the website is worth watching. I suggest you check out the website. I'll put the link below. I hope you enjoyed this video. Feel free to comment, rate and subscribe, and hope to see you next time. Cheers!